All right. I think I believe I am live. Today is 808 day. I've been just going live a lot lately here on YouTube. So shout out to 808 August 8th. What you hear right now is not the instrument you see on the screen. This is actually my iPad on the screen, and there's an app called Subbase 808. I believe it's available in the iOS store. Sometimes they put stuff in the vault, but before we dive in, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out some links in the description for resources that I have to offer, resources that I use for sync licensing and music production. So because today's 808 day, I'm going to share some 808 tips and tricks, mostly in Logic Pro, but definitely check out this app. I have a couple of presets in this app. This is a Logic Pro app. I do not have 100 presets. Okay, I have maybe 30 or 40 presets in here, but start at 115 and go down to 150. So I have about 35 presets here in the Subbase 808 app. So definitely check that out. It's great for if you're producing on the iPad, but there's also a way where you can connect your iPad up to Logic Pro if you use Logic Pro and use the sounds from your iPad in Logic Pro. So check out all those 808 sounds. Maybe I'll take a handful of them and release them for free as like a wave pack that you can download. We'll see. But these are sounds that I took time to create within this app. There's ways to, for example, if I choose one, there's ways where you can do sound design with the app using all these different parameters within the app. And I spent some time when this app came out years ago to create these sounds, 35 of them to be exact, and they are all available within the Subbase 808 app from AudioKit. So definitely check that out and some other plugins and iOS apps that they use. So let's jump into, let me close this, Logic Pro. I'm going to show you 3 plugins, I think, that I use, probably starting from the least used to the most used. So I'm going to start with Subdivine, which I don't use like often. I forgot the company. That's how often I don't use it, but they have some kits that you can purchase, some extra sounds. They have their default sounds, but then if you go into some of their plugins, like let's go to Tiger Tamer. And then I can adjust the attack, decay, sustain, and the release. I can adjust the type here. This is like the drive, compression, saturation. And then if I want to adjust the glide here, which I don't hear. I'm not hearing the glide. Let's go to another sound. That was in digital. Let's go. It does have some great sounds in here. Let's go. I'm just going to mute the microphone. I'm going to play through some of these presets. All right, so the glide, I just found out the trick. I have to hold down the second note, and then it'll glide up to that note. All right, so that's just one plugin, Subdivine. Like I said, I don't use it much, but I just heard some sounds in there that I should go back and revisit. Next, we'll jump into Alchemy. So with Alchemy, you can do a couple of things. This is a Logic only plugin, so if you use Logic Pro, you can check this out. Go to Alchemy. You can search 808s. They started adding 808s maybe a couple of years ago, and they have a couple in here that are pretty decent sounding. Let's go to this one. Might got to turn the volume up. Without blowing up your ears. Then we have some of these. I'm gonna play through some of these sounds. All right, and a little trick with Alchemy specifically, if I load on my preset here, and you can save this as your own preset, and I go to the Advanced tab, basically what I can do is I can find an 808 sound. So let me just look for an 808 sound that I might have from like a sample pack or something. Usually Cymatics has like a bunch of 808s that I have. Let's see if anything loads up. Let's go to let's see what these, and it needs to be a WAV file. So let's look. Let me just look for, I should have just looked in the Cymatics pack. So you hear that. So if I drag that into one of these here, and I just want to drag it into sampler on any of these sources, A, B, C, D, I'm just going to put this on the A sampler. It's going to import that WAV file, and you can see I have the ADSR here. All I want to do is just adjust the glide, which is right here. But if I play it right now, and I can adjust the ADSR if I wanted to ring out longer. But I can turn down the glide here or turn it up. You can do some more filtering and effects with Alchemy. I don't really know Alchemy all that too well, but you can do a lot of programming in here. So definitely look up some great Alchemy training tutorials. So that's Alchemy. It has some great 808s built in, but you can also import your own sounds and 808s into Alchemy and build out some things that way. So last but not least, the one that I use the most is called Apeshit 808 from Brahma Beats, right there. You see them. And you can also buy some add-ons. So all these different kits are add-ons. I think this first bank here is the default sound you get with it. Then you can purchase the aliens and bankrolls and goats and gorillas and heavy and probably more that I don't have. But I'm going to just talk about some of the sounds. I'm going to mute the microphone and play through some of these sounds. One thing I want to mention here is that this one sounds a little bit sharp, so there is a tune option here in the plugin where you can detune the notes down or up if you think they're out of tune with the actual tune that you want. In this case, that bottom octave sounds a little out of tune. Where am I at? I am at Gorilla. All right, let's go to the heavyweight 808s. All right, I won't play through all those. We'll go through a couple of the King Kong. I won't play through all these, but that is probably the plugin that I use the most for 808s. One other trick, I showed you how to use drag a sound into Alchemy and manipulate some of those sounds. I'm going to drag in just a 808 cymatics. All right, so I'm going to put this in Logic Pro. If you have a DAW, you probably have a sampler built into your DAW. So I'm going to drag this into the sampler. This time I'm going to use Quick Sampler Optimized. And what you can do here is it'll spread that across the keyboard. So I know I said 3 ways. This is actually going to be a 4th bonus way. And you can manipulate that here. You have your ADSR similar to what you saw in Alchemy. You can adjust the length of the pause, the plugin, or the length of the sound. You can manipulate the sound, turn the volume up, pan it left and right, adjust the tuning with this chorus here, chorus pitch adjustment. But on the plugin processing, you could throw in like a saturator. So let's try Fat Effects, which is a built-in Logic Pro plugin. And I can just go to bass, and I'll just go through some of these presets. So you can mess with that there. We can also go to, I have saturator knob. If you have a saturator, I want to go to Greenhouse, which is a Mixing Night audio plugin. Check out Mixing Night audio plugins. Shoot me a DM if you're interested in checking these out. And I have a preset in here to help widen your 808 pause. It's the Fingaz 808 Distort and Widen. And speaking of Mixing Night Audio, you can also go to Lull Comp or All Comp. I'm going to use the All Comp version of the plugin. And we can go to either low end here, adjust parameters. I'm not going to do a review of this whole plugin right now, but we can go through all these different presets. And each of these different 5 layers up here are different 5 chains that mixing engineer guru Ken Lewis uses on his has been using in his productions for like Kanye and Taylor Swift and all these big artists over the years. So he put them all in his plugin. I'm going to go through smooth. And last but not least, Heat. This one I really like on 808s because it adds that like grit and distortion. It's also great for guitars. And when you get this plugin, you also get its what little brother, big brother. We'll go to that's All Comp. If I go to Lull Comp. This is like the fun version of the plugin. It's like a different skin, but same plugin. And I'll just play through some of these. This plugin right here is not free, Zachary, but it is worth the price of admission. Where can we cop? I will drop a link in the description of this video when I post it. There is a I have an affiliate link you can use to purchase, and I think they might even be doing a sale right now on both of these. They make Lull Comp / All Comp and Greenhouse. So right now they have 2 plugins out, more on the way. This one is another one, which is like a widening plugin, and I have an 808 preset in there that I use. me see if I can find the link right now in like 2 seconds. I will drop it in the comments. But thank you all for tuning in. 808 Day. Every year I say I need to do a video on 808 Day, and I never do one. So I decided to do one today. If you missed it, I showed how you can use 808s. Just rewind this video, how you can use them in your, can I use my M&A? How you can use them in your in Logic Pro and Alchemy, how you can upload your own 808s, and then some plugins that I use. I mostly use the Apeshit 808 from Brahma Beats. Let me get this link for you. Copy. Let's see if the link will share. Check that out for both LolComp, AllComp, and Greenhouse, if that link shares. All right, what else? Is there any other 808 secrets, tips, and tricks? That's 4. As I mentioned, Alchemy does have some stock 808 sounds. Your DAW probably has some stock 808 sounds. So if I'm just thinking out loud right now, if I go to, I don't think this is the Alchemy 808. Yeah. That is not an 808. That says 80s 808. If I just use a stock 808 sound, and I wanted to manipulate it, let's go to, obviously, distortion. Here, there's a bit crusher, chroma glow. I think it's new in here. Let me see if I can get something fun with chroma glow. So if you have a plugin, a distortion plugin, bit crusher plugin, saturator plugin, throw all that in on it to see if you can beef it up a little bit. Pause. Most DAWs do have that built in for free. Let me go back to distortion. We could probably use distortion 2. This is without it and with it. And this is different presets here. Sorry, that is way loud. That is also way loud. And I can adjust the tone here. I believe this is from the Hammond or the organ plugin that's built into Logic. Logic is an advanced GarageBand. It's like GarageBand's big brother. I was using GarageBand for a while, and then when the pandemic hit, just made sense to upgrade to Logic. The great thing about Logic on the desktop is that it is a one-time payment. It is not a subscription based like some other plugins or some other DAWs. But Logic has a lot of great built-in sounds and plugins. That's distortion. I think I showed fat EQ. Let's go to multi-effects. Fat effects, remix effects, step effects. I think fat effects is the best one for 808s, where you can go through a bunch of presets. I showed some bass ones earlier. Let's go through some of the drum presets. This is without it, with it. That has like that built-in, when I play the note, that built-in like whoosh sound. You hear it? Sort of like that. So really, you don't need a million 808 sounds, even though I have a lot of them. Like a handful, 10 maybe even 20, you're good to go. You can throw on a bunch of effects to have one sound have sound different in different songs. It's getting weird. It's like arpeggiating it. Could be hit or miss. Let me see if I missed any questions. Can you go over 808 rhythms and slides as well? So in let's see, in the ApeShit 808 plugin, a lot of 808 plugins do have a slide or glide, they would call it, option. Like ApeShit 808 has that. That is not free. Subdivine has that. That is not free either. There's a way in Alchemy, specifically in Logic, where you can do that. I showed that earlier, but basically you can load in your own sound, or even if you have an 808 sound from like a library. I dropped in a Cymatics one in one of these. I think I might have took it out, but if I have a sound like this, I can show it again really quick. If I go to advanced and I drop in an 808 sound like that, I can drop that in on this plugin. Let's drop it in on layer A under sampler, and let me turn off the plugin. So that's that sound that I just imported in, and I can use this glide parameter here. I'm sure there's something similar, probably even a little easier to use in some other DAWs. And in the case of Subdivine, there is a glide option right down here on the right. And I can adjust how the glide time. As far as like programming rhythms, let me see if I can get something really quick. And then in ApeShit 808, I like I use this Guerrilla Warfare. There's a glide like knob here. So you can have fun with that. Usually with glide, you have to try to play one note and then play the other note at the same time in order for it to glide from the bottom note to the higher note, or vice versa. But you want to hold both notes down. So let's see if we have, let me go drum loop, because I'm trying to go over just really quick some maybe 808 rhythms, maybe how I go about. Usually I'm like just doing one knob thing. If nothing loads up, or let's see. Ooh, advice. I need the whole thing. That's really interesting, really slow. How about this one? All right, like that. It'll be at the tempo that I have in this project. And I'm going to choose an 808. This would probably be 8 bars. Let's see. So usually with 808s, I want to try to at least hit the 808 at the same time as the kick. So in this case, it's where you see on the waveform here, sort of, let me zoom in a little bit. The kick drum is like the low hit. You probably know what a kick drum is in a drum kit. So it's right there. And it's usually where the spike is. So you see these top spikes, that's usually the kick drum. So I don't want, in this case, I don't want the 808 to ring out as much. So I can adjust what's called the release. And then if I do like that first layer, like in between, I can do those sort of like, and if I want to glide. Let's see if I can get it on beat. So something like that. I don't like that high hit right there. It was like, I just don't like it. this double hit here. So that's like how I would like do, like, if I'll try another 808. Well, let me try one with this sound. I got to turn that glide down. Let's see, I'm not going to play the same thing, but so let's say I have those. What you could do if you want to have fun with it is have one 808 play like one time and then the other 808 play the other time. So it sounds like this. Now I'm like in like music production mode, which I didn't want to get into, but let's see what we can do before 9 because I need to get up there with the fam for the night. This plugin I did a review. The last 3 episodes of this podcast, I went over these plugins. Let me get some like cinematic percussion. Figure out what I want to play. This plugin that I'm using right now is not free either. It's Hans Zimmer's Symphonic Elements UJam. This one is called Drums. Let's go powerful. Brutal. I'm just going through some presets. Maybe second time around. What did I hit? What did I hit? I like that. Got to be a little quieter at the beginning. Why not? All right, what started out as supposed to be like an 808 video, I'm gonna give it again. I'm gonna go to 9. I'm gonna give it 10 more minutes, 12 more minutes to see how far we get. I gotta go. Family is my wife is texting me. I'm about to go spend some time upstairs with her. Um, and yeah. So hopefully you all got something from this. Happy 808 day. Check out those 808 tips and tricks that I shared. Stay tuned for more videos and more podcasts and episodes and all kinds of stuff, more music. Be safe and be well. Check out the links in the description for services and products that I offer and that I use in my music production for sync and movie trailers and all of the above. All right. Be safe and be well.